What's good, fam? Welcome to Subs Over Dubs podcast, anime review of Vinland Saga Season 2, Episode 13. And we got a little bit of a heater. We got a new intro, new outro. Got a little backstory going on with a new character, runaway slave. But let's start off with the intro. What'd you think? You like the new intro?
Yeah, I liked it. It was pretty cool. I was like, okay. Once I saw the intro, I was like, this might be what I was missing. And we gotta understand the intro and the outro kind of set the tone for
the season.
So I actually played it back because I was like, wait, I don't think this was episode 12's like intro. I played it back and I was like, they kind of go hard. I'm not even gonna lie. I did enjoy it. I listened to it twice. Just about it. You always gotta give it a couple listens and make sure that you like it.
That's all right to me. I prefer the first, to be honest.
The very, very first one, or like
no, this season.
The first core.
The favorite of them all would be the very first.
Yeah, of course, that
was a banger.
That's goated, but
the first. I prefer the first core of the season 2's intro.
I like this new one. I think that one's like
it's a better vibe. It's more harmonic, I guess. Harmonic.
See, I like the new one's kind of like it's almost like a builder. So it's like the other one is more like melodic, but this one is like
I think
we're going to something.
I think the other one's visually more pleasing too.
That's valid.
The water and the reflections and stuff.
I was gonna dope you up for sure.
That was a banger for sure. So let's talk about the episode. What'd you think? We're going into the second core.
It's funny.
Feel it? Pause. Is it coming?
Pause. Yes, it's coming. So my only critique about it was what I was hoping that episode 12 would do. It's actually ended up being episode 13. So I thought episode 12 would be like the
segue to everything
where we just started to get a bunch of action. But what I did like about what 13 did was it kind of gave you half the bridge of like this what's possible, like this is what's coming, but at the same time it was pause. But at the same time it was like it was an enjoyable episode, So I was hoping that they did that with episode 12, but you can definitely tell that this is like where the climax and the action and like is starting to happen. So I mean, I enjoyed it. I thought it was cool. We got a new character.
The interesting thing is like if you think about it, this is a baby arc before the real shit popped up.
And that's what I'm saying. Like I was expecting the baby arc to be done with 12, but I think it's done with 13. Like it's starting to.
Well, I mean, we still have it because we have to see the conclusion of what happened.
Left Farmland Saga yet, but you can see where it's starting to just pop off, and I'm just thinking of scenarios in my head where I'm like, this is gonna happen, and this was gonna force Thorfinn to go back. So it's like it's pretty cool because now you're starting to feel like, okay, this is what could happen. To where like when I was watching Core 1, you're like, oh no, let me guess, they're gonna wake up and plant wheat, and it's like, oh my god, they did it. Like it's just so predictable, and I get it. It was character building, it was story building, it was like terrible. It was almost insufferable.
Don't ever disrespect the honest day's work.
Who's disrespecting it? But I don't want to like you don't want to have a podcast where y'all just follow me around and I'm like, hi, welcome to so and so. How can I help you today? Like it's just the day to day. It's not exciting, bro. We want to know the highlights. You don't post your day to day on Snapchat. You post the highlights of your life on social media. It's the same thing with anime movies. You only post the good stuff, and that was not good.
I don't post.
That's why you don't have any followers. You got 3 followers on TikTok.
I didn't even know I had a TikTok, to be honest.
I tag you every post we have.
I'm not even signed in on a new phone. That's why I haven't even noticed.
That's wild. I was like, I tag you like literally every time we do a TikTok or we do like a on the streets video. This man is gonna open it up and he's gonna have like 75 notifications, 2 followers, following 1.
Yo, but episode solid. We got introduced to Einhard's husband, I suppose.
Spoilers at the top.
Hey man, you're watching the review of the episode. If you haven't watched it already, that's on you. This isn't the podcast.
That's valid.
Yeah. It was again, we talked about it. We're kind of going into builder. It's a baby arc going into the bigger theme that we left off of last season, which is going to be interesting. The bigger question is how long is this going to progress?
I think it's going to tie in somehow. Like I feel like it's going to somehow like I don't know. They're gonna convince him to like be this and that, and then like 'cause this is what I can think of. All right, tell me if I'm imagining too much. Did they even like say what the character's name was? I don't think they did, right?
They did, if I'm not mistaken. I just forgot. I think it was someone a W, but we know who we're talking about. The runaway slave.
Yeah. So the runaway slave. What I'm thinking is like he's gonna get into it with them, but just before like something crazy happens, Canute's gonna pull up, and then he's gonna be like, "Yo, we'll finish this later." They're gonna be forced to kind of team up. Cause think about it, you're gonna have Thorfinn, you're gonna have what's his name, Snake, and then this runaway slave, and then you got
the brother,
which is
Thorgil.
Thorgil. I'm like, bro, that's a powerhouse. That's a 4-man squad right there, bro.
So they running
Everybody
squads.
else is just extra. They're just side characters, bro. I could just see that happening. I mean, obviously it might not, but I'm like, that would be pretty cool because it's like Canute's coming from one side. You have Leaf. Like it's just like all these 4 corners are just somehow meeting in the middle, and I could just see it tying in.
Let me tell you what I predict.
I want to hear it. See who's right and who's wrong.
I foresee a future where, for whatever reason, Einhard steps in to protect her for whatever reason because he's dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
He gets worked, then forces Thorfinn to step up. I don't know if he necessarily kills the guy.
Einar's gonna get worked.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, fans are.
Well, I'm just saying, like,
no, go ahead.
He's gonna get worked. Thorfinn's gonna step in to defend him. I don't know if he's necessarily gonna kill the guy, but he's gonna stop him from
for sure
attacking Einhard, and then like Snake or someone's he's gonna die. Now, the bigger question is how many episodes is it going to take for this to happen? I foresee this arc, this little baby arc, will end in the next 2 episodes, or it'll take at least 2 episodes.
So you don't see it tying. You think, hey, we dealt with this crisis, and then right as soon as it's done, that's when Canute pulls up and is like, yo.
I think after this happens, the father, the king of plantation owner is going to come back and be like, what's happened? Half our guys, not half, but we have some of our people we need's injured or hurt or killed, and then we got the bigger battle behind. I don't think it's about to be the power. I hope not. The power of friendship should not prevail.
Cool, man. Hey, man, look, they need to think about it. Why would they give us such a strong character if they're not planning on using him?
Because he's gonna cause disruption.
It's gonna be a big 4. You know,
we know the bigger wave. This is like a mini boss. The big waves on the way.
I mean, that's true, but how many times have you had like a villain you think is gonna be a villain and then they end up helping at the end?
It happens.
The prime example. We thought he was gonna side with Canute because he's part of the king's army, but now he's like, no, I like this, bro. He's basically saying 300,000 versus me. I like them odds, bro. Let's run it.
That one's kind of.
Like, why would you not pad your stats and your man power? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't think it's going that way.
You don't think so? We'll see.
I mean, like I said, we'll see. If they do have the power of friendship, I'm not gonna lie.
It's starting to feel exciting to want to find out. You know, like I said, Core 1, I'm like, all right, like let's just watch this so we can record.
Hey man, are we gonna get a horse this time?
Yeah, we not gonna get a horse. And that's how I felt. Like I was like, I'm watching this solely for the podcast. I get no enjoyment out of this, and now I'm like, my like ears are perked up. And I'm like, okay, I can see what's going on.
You with your own.
It was like I compared Core 1 to like Revenger season 1. It's just boring. It's like watching this, but like boring.
I feel like I'm at a convention right now.
Look, I mean, we got to be honest, right? When we talk,
you say that, but you gave it a 6.5 during season 1.
What, Revenger?
No, Vinland.
Oh, Vinland. Yeah, I mean, the thing is that part of my grading was biased based off the season 1 because I'm like, any minute now. Okay, I don't want to completely trash it. I have a glimmer of hope. Any minute it's gonna get good, and then it just never did until literally 13 episodes later. It's like,
hey man, keep it
of excitement.
Keep it at 5, man. It's a build up.
That's valid. I mean,
but
my 6.5 is like your 5, so it's like it balances.
I don't know about that. You say that, no.
It's consistent. That's all that matters.
I digress. We see Grandpa. Looks like he's about to. I thought for whatever reason, I thought he died already. I thought he died.
Oh man, I forgot about it.
I thought when they came back and said, "Where's Gramps?" They're gonna be like, "You didn't know he was gone." I thought that was gonna play out just now, but I don't know why I thought he passed already. But it looks like he's on his way out, and yeah, shout out to him, man. He held it down. But I don't see this for seeing this happen. All this and wrapping up in the next 2 episodes, or at least it's gonna take 2 episodes to wrap this up. But other than that, it sucks because what we got left on a big cliffhanger at episode 12, where they get the setup, and basically King Canute's gonna come and raid them because they have a farmland which has resources, which equals money. And he's like, "What? I've only done things right by the king. What did I deserve to get this treatment?" And now we're gonna be waiting a few episodes before we even find out how that's gonna turn out. What's gonna really suck? Let's say they take 5 episodes of this little arc, this situation. That's gonna suck.
I feel like they've done well in like giving us pockets of time that still kind of further the plot, but not overshadow what's going on in the moment. Like when they were talking about the farmland saga, you still got pockets of Canute and what was going on and how he got to where he was. So I don't think, even if it lasts 2 to 4 or 5 episodes, I still think we'll get pockets of like, all right, ready the ships. All right, we're almost there.
To see
and
on what
as
they're
that
doing.
wraps up, if it goes the way you're talking, as that wraps up, then they land.
But then they only have what?
They have
6 episodes? 7 episodes? And
you can do a lot with 7 episodes. I mean, the
It
first 7
depends on
episodes of
what
Chainsaw Man was good.
I don't know what the storyline's gonna be, so we don't know like the pacing. But we'll see.
That's true. I mean,
To go very slow to very fast, though, it's got to be done well for people to receive.
but that's why I'm saying I feel like wouldn't it make more sense to tie this character in and what's going on, intertwine that with the story and further the plot? It just makes sense because then you're not wasting
I just
2 or
don't.
3 episodes. You see what I'm saying? Like, I get the power of friendship, but like in my mind, that's the only thing that makes sense. Is like, why would you just have a side story when we just had 13 episodes, 12 episodes of side story?
I think the reason why you have this is it's going to progress Einar's character because
see him.
He's
dying.
going to be tested.
See him dying before the season's over. That's my prediction. I think once he dies, then that's going to be left for Thorfinn to be like, okay, well, now I really don't have anything left. What am I supposed to do with my life now? That continues on to season 3, and then
You think he's living for Einar at this point?
who? Oh,
Thorfinn.
yeah, I think he's gonna like. I think Einar's gonna affect that. I think his death's gonna affect whatever he does next.
I think it'll affect him, but I don't think it's going to cause him to like not have a purpose.
Well, I mean, think about it. He didn't have a purpose prior to, and then he's talking to Einar, and Einar's helping him self-discover. So it's like, he's gonna. I feel like he's gonna be like, he's gonna be the type of character that has to cling to somebody. You see what I'm saying? It's
he
like
needs someone
that's
to
gonna
live.
further his development as a decent
see.
human being.
I think
Leaf will be next, maybe.
but I feel like if Leaf finds him, he'd have someone to live for because he has his family.
But I see Canute or his people killing Einar, making him snap, go crazy, kill them off, and then he's like
Back to
kind of not square one, but like then he like Leaf takes care of him, and it's like everyone kind of reminds me of a 2-year eternity. Like every person that he comes in contact with is helping him understand the world more, and just that's I mean it's the only thing I could think of that could make this story last. You know,
I need you to finish season 2.
I'll do it, bro. 24 episodes behind. I got you. Damn. That's all of season 2.
Bro, those are good,
But
bro.
it makes sense though, right? Like where you're just kind of like almost passing the torch of like, in my head, Thorfinn's like a little baby. Like he doesn't understand the world.
He doesn't.
Because I was raised, and it's like Einar kind of gave him like the farmer life. Okay, cool. All right, well, Leaf, I'm gonna teach you like the ways of the Nordic, how we were, right? Like he's getting pieces of different lives, and you know that's how I can see it. Anyways,
Listen,
over.
we got time to find out. That's the key.
I just wonder how long this. You know how typically you can gauge, like when My Hero came out, I'm like, oh, that's going at least 6 to 8 seasons. I'm kind of wondering where the stopping point is for this. Is like, is it going to be like a 3-season thing, 4-season thing? Because then I think you can start determining pacing by that point. Because it's like, okay, well, if it's going to go 4 seasons, then obviously he's going to have like another mentor, you know, type of thing. So we'll see.
You're right.
It's interesting though. I'm finally starting to get more interested, and it's starting to be more like season 1, which is like,
Oh,
it's a dub. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a dub.
Hey, listen. I think we can only go up.
I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that because there's been some moments where Chainsaw Man, for instance, and then I just fell off the last 2 episodes.
Yeah, it was okay. But for me, I try to keep my expectations mid-level because I didn't know what we were gonna get with it. It was
That's
hyped
valid.
up.
I mean, now season 2, I think we can kind of start gauging how the pacing's gonna be, how their formula is gonna go, and then it's more.
I think we also got to take into account not too often is follow-up seasons better than the first.
As valid as gonna be a bunch.
It's hard to like draw the attention.
And I mean,
I'm trying to think of one anime that did it. To be honest,
I think it's an anime formula, and I think that might be why season 2 for me is tougher. When I watched Attack on Titan the first time, season 1 amazing, got my attention. Season 2 was just a bunch of information and furthering the plot that I didn't even finish. I was like, but then people tell me season 3 was one of the best seasons. So it's like, I think it's like a action, information, and season 2 of this might just be
a similar
formula.
I was gonna say too, like Attack on Titan. I'd have to go back and watch it to say if it's definitively better than the first season, but definitely the first season got you reeled in and hooked.
Sure. In that universe.
So, but I really enjoyed the last couple of seasons because like, it's just, I think it has to deal with, and we kind of spoke on this in a previous episode, that when you get all this information, like in My Hero, for example, when you get all this information, you kind of get to the climax of the story. It's gonna be good because you invested the time. It's like you're about to get the fruits of your labor, so to speak. So we'll see. Plenty of time, plenty of episodes to go. We got 13,
for sure. It's off to a good start, though. I mean, I really like it. I think
12 episodes or 11 episodes.
Action part of it is gonna be there. Arnheid had a husband the whole time. The little twists and
love triangle.
Then you're like, now you're starting to think, what's gonna happen with Einar? Like, he can deny, but he's in love with this woman, So how that's gonna? So now there's interesting plot points and there's multiple things happening at once.
I think she's gonna die.
You think she is? I think Einar's gonna die.
Not from this situation. I don't think he's gonna die.
No.
He might get hurt.
Yeah, we'll see.
But I don't think I think he's gonna die in some way. She's gonna like
save him or something.
She's not gonna save him, but she's gonna take a blow for him, and she's gonna get worked. I don't think there's any happy ending for her or
gonna take a blow for her husband. Or
yes, for her husband. I mean, it would be kind of a situation for her.
But
like,
see, it almost looks like she wasn't happy to see him. Like she yelled for
surprised.
him, but like I don't know. It's like, what if she's like, oh shit, like, because the way that he is, what if he's like that abusive husband? She ran away from him.
Well, I don't think she'd run towards him though to verify it's him if he was abusive.
That's valid.
I would say she's not exactly. It didn't come off as happy. She was super happy.
What if she knew that this person was this runaway slave was dangerous? Yeah, she's like, let me calm him down or whatever. Like,
well, she could have been because like she probably obviously knew him, so it's like maybe she knew he was capable, and since he's there, he's like, all right, I know what you had to have done to get to here.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
So yeah,
we'll see, but definitely a good episode. Very solid. Makes me excited for next week. And
does it make you excited?
Finally after 13 episodes, 13 consecutive weeks of Snooze Land Saga.
This guy is flipping like a switch right now.
I've said it since day one. Season 2 has been not my favorite, and it's starting to get good. I'll admit that. And when we get to the end of this season, I'll let you know if it was worth it. If all of this 12 episodes of Core 1 was worth it or not.
We're going to have to run the tapes and get a little flashback in and see how you really felt.
I got you.
He did say Farmland Saga. I'll give him that, but I think his number of his grade on the episodes.
What do you grade this episode?
It's all right. 5. It's average. Nothing, like I told you at the beginning, like it's been...
Give it a 6. Comparatively to all the rest of the other ones were 5s, maybe 4s.
Last episode wasn't... It was
a 5.5.
I think last episode was better than this one.
I don't think so.
Jesus.
I think the foreshadowing of this episode was better than the foreshadowing of last episode. That's what I think.
This guy.
Because this episode it raises more questions than answers. Last episode was like, oh, we know what's finna happen, right? Like,
we do we? The only thing we know is Canute's coming. That's all we know.
Yeah, but then this point, it's like, this one episode gave me 100 different other questions of, now we're thinking of theories that are towards the end of the season. We're thinking of so many things that can happen off of one episode. Like, that's more so than what we were getting last episode.
Maybe. We'll walk away.
I stand by 6.
Yeah, I'll give it, like I said, for me personally, I won't truly be able to grade anything until we get the finished product, because this is all builder episodes to further the plot to bring up the climax that we're going into. So,
I mean, that's valid, but I think you can still grade.
that's why I said 5.
It's like you can watch the first 12 episodes and grade them each a 4, but then when you watch them in unison, you're like, oh, now I understand. It's a 6, you know.
Yeah.
So that's how I'm kind of grading it, is like loosely 5, 6 here, but say 1 through 24 is a masterpiece at the end. You know, those 5s and 6s added up, you know, averaged out.
All right.
So,
Well, guys, let us know what you guys think in the comments. Is it subs?
or is it dubs?
We're out.
Peace.